Water and Sanitation Department says it will continue its legal challenge against the Mogale City Local Municipality despite a setback in court. The department took the council to court to force it to stop the flow of raw sewage that is seeping out of the ailing Percy Stewart Wastewater treatment works and into the community. The urgent court application was struck off the roll by the High Court in Johannesburg.
So the department has been given until the 24th of January to provide a responding affidavit. So it's still going to be appearing in front of the courts. So we are still on track. We've hit a glitch, but we will still be proceeding with our responding affidavit.
Now we have Mogale City Mayor, Mr. Lucky Sele, who joins us now more for a reaction to that interview. Very good evening to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. We are giving you a right of reply to that interview flighted by the channel yesterday with my colleague Arabile Gumede. He spoke to Moa Annette, that's the Director of Compliance Monitoring Institutions at the Water and Sanitation Department. What stuck out to you the most and what would you like to immediately respond to?
Good evening, and thanks for having me on your news channel this evening. And I also pass my greetings to your viewers. And of course, we have received the interview and the views from the Department of Water and Sanitation, and also the unfortunate court incident that ensued during the holidays period. And I think as a point of departure is to indicate that the department filed for a court application on the 18th and requested us or required of us to indicate if we're going to oppose that application before 4 p.m. on the 18th, and we did so as an institution. But this demonstrates that it was some kind of a witch hunt on our institution and the department trying to save face or rather embarrass our institution in this particular process, because we understand that we have a sustainability issue. And the wastewater treatment plant challenge that has been confronting our city over time, which we are responding to, and have given the department the medium to short-term plan on how we're going to address the situation. And in fact, at the point that we're at, we've made significant progress to bring to functionality our wastewater treatment works. So it was to us surprising that we would get a court notification for the 24th of December, and quite embarrassing that the department was not ready on the 24th of December to make their own representation. And the case was thereafter postponed. And even after its postponement, the department was not ready. So it was just a witch hunt to get an order against the municipality, anticipating that we would not be in a position to defend ourselves.
But what do you attribute this to? You've called it a witch hunt. Where are you failing to find each other with the department? Because they say they have capacitated you as a municipality with infrastructure that you have failed to maintain, which is why you're having these problems. Why are you being taken to court to be able to fix your wastewater works?
So we held a meeting with the Department of Water and Sanitation on the 11th of November. And they acquired a number of misrepresentation of facts and speaking across each other between our institution and the department. Yes, the department has, over a period of time, offered support to Mogale City Local Municipality, but the support was not for wastewater treatment plants, and that's the point that we've been trying to make. They provided support as per programs approved by the Department of Water and Sanitation, because before they fund, the municipality must submit business plans. And over a period of time, those particular support went into rural water pipelines and programs to improve water leakages and so on and so forth. and there's not been provision over time for wastewater treatment plants. And in fact, the first business plan on the wastewater treatment plant in terms of maintenance was submitted in 2022. And that's when they began to put in funding of 20 to 40 million on wastewater treatment plants. So it does not assist as government institutions to speak across each other. And we appealed for this on the 11th of November. And by the way, we were the only institution represented by an executive mayor at that particular meeting. And all other institutions delegated other people to come to that meeting. And I personally appealed to the deputy minister that we sit down and have a conversation. And it's surprising that a month later, the department decides to take us to court before we clarify all these issues, put forth a sense of accountability, and of course, look into the way forward, because it does not assist when there's a challenge, such a serious challenge that confront our residents and that confront the people of South Africa, not only the residents of Mogale City, that a department that is supposed to offer support and ensure that we resolve that particular problem resort to a court process. The court process is not going to resolve the sanitation issues. The department responsible must resolve that issue, must play a supportive role, and must ensure that the sewage that spills into the rivers, Bal River catchment, the RTBS catchment, is being stopped by all means necessary. And it's unfortunate that if you were to go to all rivers in Gauteng across all cities, you will realize that there is a challenge, but it is only Mogale City that is being put in this particular situation.
Tell us about this action plan that you supposedly came up with and I suppose presented to the Department of Water and Sanitation that you were asked to revise. The department claims that this hasn't been done.
No. That is not factually true. You would remember that the president wrote to the premier in October. And in October, we then revised the action plan to deal with the wastewater treatment plant challenges in Mogale City from medium to long term. And in the long term, we said that we would be able to stop and completely refurbish our Percy Stewart wastewater treatment plant by June 2025. But in the immediate between October and December, was to control the spillages on site, which we immediately did within 4 weeks, and also bring to functionality our PSTs, which we immediately did within 4 weeks. Between this period of October and December, we spent 30 million on site to ensure that we bring it to a sense of functionality and bioremediation process. We have, however, indicated to the department for full functionality, we need 120 million, which we have also indicated to the premier of the province and to the president. So everybody is on side of that action plan, the immediate action plan, which we are also funding as the municipality because we accept the seriousness of the situation, that it requires also us to play a meaningful role to resolve the problem and not wait on anyone else to come and rescue us. However, we have not yet to date received a response from the provincial government, neither the national government, on how they are going to support our efforts to bring Percy Stewart wastewater treatment plants into life. And by the way, the dysfunctionality of the wastewater treatment plant was caused by severe vandalism, where even our transformer was stripped off and the cable, and there was no electricity on site. And at the moment, we've restored our transformers, we've put in cables for electrical supply, hence our PST7 is in functionality, and everything else partially at the point of functionality to ensure that the water that is discharged into the river streams meets the required level as per our license.
It's quite bizarre, you know, when I hear you speaking of this funding that incidentally was also mentioned yesterday during the interview, that there is further funding that is available, that has been availed to the municipality, that proves that all you have to do is ask for it and implement all the solutions that you speak of. There seems to be a sentiment that the municipality has not gone ahead and actually applied or asked for this funding?
No, we've sent our action plan in October already. And through that action plan request additional funding to finalize this program. And of course, we understand that in the next financial year, the Department of Water and Sanitation is going to make available 100 million to the institution, but that is for 5 other projects, including the wastewater treatment plants. So it's shared across 5 projects. So in a conversation where we need to look at how we can reprioritize and ensure that from the funding that we receive, it responds to the challenge that we have. And of course, it would mean that we would have to see how we fund internally other programs that were supposedly going to be funded by the funding from the Department of Water and Sanitation. So all this process, we're going to look into it for our adjustment budget processes in February and make a submission to the department. So the court processes, as I was saying, is just jumping the gun in an effort to humiliate or embarrass our institution. When both of us are saying we have a solution in place, let's talk about it and support each other and ensure that we improve the living conditions of the people of Mogale City.
So the department has been directed by the court to prepare and file an affidavit by no later than 24 January next year. How are you preparing for that court bid?
No, it is not true. The court matter has been struck off the wall, and the department has to file a replying affidavit why they shouldn't cover the cost. So the court process is done. It has been struck off the wall. So when a process is being struck off the wall, you don't get another chance to say we're coming back on this particular date. The only pending matter is the argument on cost, which is also an embarrassing and humiliating fact when 2 intergovernmental institutions or arm of government could have just spoken with each other and resolved what are the issues at hand and work together. So I also heard the representative of the Department of Water and Sanitation saying that they are proceeding with the case. If they are proceeding with the case, they would have to start a new application. That's what it means to have a matter struck off the wall.
Mayor Lucky Sele, thank you so much for giving us your side of the story. Certainly appreciate it. That's the Mayor of Mogale City. And they're dealing with the issue of wastewater treatment works with the Department of Water and Sanitation.